Hello, friends, and welcome to Shuddy Uppy, Let's Talk King and Queens podcast. My name is Steve Lont, and we have an awesome show for you today. I'm joined by my guest. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Mr. Dusty Salisbury. You know him because he's famous for his hilarious King and Queens TikTok reenactments with his lovely wife. Dusty, how are you tonight?
What's up, you demented old circus monkeys? I'm doing great. How you guys doing tonight?
You know we're doing awesome as usual, pal. This week we don't have any more feedback to share from you. We do ask that you, if you have the Apple podcast app, that you rate and review the show, and we will read it on the air. We will read it, and if you want to send it to us via Facebook Messenger or our email, which is kingofqueenspodcast@gmail.com. But we love to hear from you and love to acknowledge you on the show. All right, so today we have a pretty cool guest for you. She is a teacher, a band director, and a huge King of Queens fan from Bentonville, Arkansas, home of Walmart. Please welcome to the show, Miss Natalie Fernandez. Natalie, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing excellent over here.
Every time you say welcome to the show, I want to maybe it's the sitcom lover in me. I feel like there needs to be the audience applause. Push the button. Yeah.
We should have that. We should have like an applause button.
The clap
or like
track, yeah.
That's a great idea.
Or like yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
We'll put that on the list. I like that. We were talking about Seinfeld a little bit before the show, not to get off too off track, but that was one of the episodes I remember when Kramer had the set from the Merv Griffin show. So that's what that reminded me of. But I digress because we are talking about the King and Queens tonight. So you are a teacher and a band director. So tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, so this is my 15th year teaching.
Nice.
Which is kind of hard to imagine. I've got former students like on my Facebook friends list, and they're all graduated college and they're getting married and they're having babies, and it freaks me out, man.
Yeah.
because the grade that I teach 6th grade.
Okay.
All day, every day, and that's beginning band. So that's those very first interesting, I use air quotes, interesting sounds before they sound like they know what they're doing. A lot of hot cross buns. We're doing a lot of hot cross buns, and your Mary Had a Little Lamb and whatnot. Those are our go-tos. But yeah, I love what I do. My husband is also a band director. I'm not kidding when I say this. We met at band camp, but we were not students. We were actually on the staff the same summer at the University of Arkansas summer music camp. And the way they work it out, you get paired up with another teacher, and I just happened to get paired up with him, and the rest is history.
That's awesome.
It's like fate right there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
That's really cool. So what's your favorite instrument?
Well, we are actually also both percussionists, which is like drums and marimbas and stuff like that. But the instruments that I teach, I have a co-teacher who covers the other instruments, but I teach clarinet, trombone, baritone, and percussion classes. Oh, wow. So clarinet is the one that parents email me after that first week with instruments, and they go, so it's going to get better, right? Because it just sounds like someone's kicking a goose down my driveway right now. Like, it will get better. And in fact, the more you can encourage them to make those goose sounds right now, the faster it'll get better, I promise. But they're always a little skeptical after those first couple sounds.
You probably heard a lot over your 15
years.
A
lot of stories. If every teacher wrote a book, they would all be bestsellers, because the story, especially, I don't know, I'm sure every grade level has their stories. Like, I could never teach elementary, like the little bitties. Yeah. That's a lot of nose wiping and shoestring tying, and I can't do it. Yeah. I just don't think I can do it. But
six
middle
like
schools,
year,
that's an interesting age. They're funny because they're that in between. They're not quite teenage jerks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And they still have enough, like, I want to get patted on the head and I want to do what's right and please you in them, that they're a lot of fun. So
awesome.
yeah,
Well, that's great. All right. Well, today we're here to talk about King of Queens.
yeah.
And do you have any questions for us? You've heard the show. You told us you listened to every episode so far, so we appreciate that.
Yep.
This is going to be episode number 10, so we're in the double digits. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
double digits. Yeah.
We are going to talk. We're going to talk about the show, do a little episode synopsis. You ready for the trivia portion?
My husband was like, "Are you gonna be nervous?" I was like, "No, I got this." I did rewatch the episode yesterday.
Okay.
And I was feeling pretty good about it because I was like calling things out before they got said or before they happened. And I was feeling like, okay, yeah, bring it. And now the record button's on.
Yeah.
I was like, it was literally like 30 minutes ago. I was like, oh my God, what is the episode about? Wait, what's the cold open? I feel like it has something to do with cereal. No, that's something else. Okay, calm down. Get a hold of yourself.
Get a hold of yourself.
Just got to I got to harness it and just, I know it. I mean, I've seen it so many times.
Yeah, you've seen it a lot. And we'll find out how many times later on in the episode.
Yeah.
So. All right. Let's get started then.
Okay.
Today we're going to talk about Season 4, Episode 20, entitled Lush Life. It was written by Tony Sheehan, directed by James Widows, and it originally aired on April 8th, 2002. So almost 20 years ago.
College sophomore. Wow.
College sophomore,
Almost
wow.
20 years ago.
It's crazy. I just turned 40. So 2002 was,
I'm right behind you, man.
Yeah. So, I'm feeling old. Anyway, episode synopsis. Doug discovers Carrie is much more fun if she drinks a cocktail or two. All right, so we're going to get right into it here. Question. Oh, here we go. We got some cocktails going.
True that.
What are you guys drinking? What are you guys drinking tonight?
So I'm a weirdo, and I'm not a beer drinker. As much as I would like to be, because I feel like in the long run that's cheaper. And it's easier to please that palate anytime you go out to a restaurant. So this is water with like drink flavoring in it, and it's iced tea, which it's like, why don't you just get iced tea? I don't know. Maybe I think on some level I think that it's healthier because it's water, but I don't know. And then there's peach vodka in there.
Ooh, oh, there you
nice.
go. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Dusty? Looks like you have some sort of Corona.
Yeah, I love Coronas, and I'm trying this new Corona Refresca that just came out.
Is it one of those seltzer?
No, not the seltzers. I hate seltzers, but
I do too.
Oh, I can't stand that. My wife drinks the crap all the time. I don't know how the hell she drinks that crap, but it's Corona Refresca, guava lime. Ugh.
Guava lime.
Yeah.
Guava lime.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's pretty damn good.
We're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by Corona, although if they want to sponsor us,
brand names. I was like,
great.
True that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we can. Why
Shout
not?
out.
I saw Steven drinking a
Maybe
seltzer
the
over there.
official Refresca. Yeah. You can be the official Refresca
Of the King of Queens podcast.
models or whatever. Yeah. I can't do the seltzer. Can't do it. But when I drink Corona, it just makes me feel happy, but also a little sad that I'm not on a beach.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Because it just gives me those summer vibes. So it's a little bit bittersweet to have a Corona.
True that.
But I'll have to try those Refrescas. That sounds good.
Yeah, they're hard to find. They're pretty damn good.
Okay.
All right. I like the little sidetrack we got on, but that's okay. off to some trivia now. All right, now the real pressure's on, Natalie.
Dun dun dun.
All right, question number 1. In the cold open, what constellation does Doug claim you can see while sitting on the front porch?
Oh my God. Okay.
And I'll give you a hint. It's not a.
I know it's not a real one. He calls it like the Big Bopper.
Yeah.
Is that
Big
it?
Bopper.
Yes.
One for one. You get that first one out of the way, and now it's gonna be smooth sailing from now on.
Big Bopper.
All right. So now they're in the. It's the next morning. What does Carrie give to Doug for breakfast at the beginning of the show?
Slim Time Meal 1A.
Yeah, that was good.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a very generic Slim Time morning meal 1A. It's
Morning
very
meal.
generic,
I was like, no, I'm missing a word or two.
No, you're perfect. You're good to go. And he eats it in like one bite, and Carrie says, no, you're not finished yet. Doug's
You got
like,
your little stamp of ham.
Yeah, stamp of ham. There you go.
So Arthur comes up the stairs from the basement, and he starts going through the trash. What type of container does Arthur take out of the trash?
A yellow margarine container.
There you
Very
go.
good.
Good
A
job.
yellow margarine container. Even got
This
the color
would be
going
perfect. This would be perfect for my collection of Civil War bullets.
Very
that's
good.
awesome. Yeah.
That's extra bonus points right there.
Bonus. Okay, so keep that in your holster in case I miss another one later.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Arthur
a teacher.
with
I
his
know
containers.
how extra credit works.
Yeah. You know, you're a teacher. So basically, Carrie puts Doug on a diet for, this happens a lot during the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, so he's on a diet now. He doesn't even realize it until he gets that morning meal. So we move on to later in the day when Arthur comes in and Doug's about to eat one of his other generic meals. And Arthur brings something in to eat and has I call it a foodgasm. What is Arthur eating?
It's pizza that for television food looks really good because
Yeah.
the cheese is like melty and hanging, and garlic bread.
Very
Yes.
good. Very good. Yeah, and every bite he's like,
Ooh.
oh yeah.
That's my son's
All
favorite
right,
part.
you're gonna have to stop that, or I'm coming at you hard. That's what he says.
I should have to eat in fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that was one of my quotes for
eat
later.
fear.
That's one of my quotes for later, Dusty.
That's my son's favorite part.
Is it?
He does that to me every time, like whenever he tries to bring his food in here in the living room to eat. And I'm like, go back in the kitchen. He's like, I should have to eat in fear.
Teaching him young. I love it. Teaching him young. All right, so Carrie comes back from work a little late, and she's feeling a little happy. What kind of drink does Carrie get with the secretary from work?
An apple teeny.
Yeah.
Apple martini.
Apple
Very
martini,
good.
yes.
Very good. And she's definitely feeling. He's definitely feeling good. And lets Doug eat the pizza.
Yeah.
And the garlic bread. You gonna have some garlic bread with that?
Is this like the time
Oh,
that you told me I could get the porn channel and then said that I discussed you?
yeah. That's
Because he's just looking at her wide-eyed like, this feels like a trap.
yeah. This feels like a trap.
definitely a
Yep.
setup.
Exactly. No, that's a great part. All right, so next scene is the guys playing cards, smoking stogies. Lou Ferrigno's there. Carrie comes in, and she's pretty pissed off when she gets home. So why is Carrie pissed off?
They put a scratch in the floor when they moved the couch because Spence buckled. There was beer on the floor, once again, Spence, and they're smoking cigars in the house.
All right, very good. And for bonus points, they go into the kitchen and we find out that she's not going to be going out with the secretary anymore. And why is that?
Right. She said that her coworker told the boss that she was stealing because she wants her job, and she's a lying skank, and I'm never going to talk to her again.
Very good.
You remember
Get
this
the
whole
accent down and
episode.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. Because
Very
skank
good.
was one of Carrie's very favorite female insults.
Yes. Yep.
She
Oh,
loved
skank?
skank.
Yep.
Yeah, skank was-
Which was
skank
a
was up there.
very, very late 90s, early 2000s word
Yep.
to use. 'Cause
Oh,
have you heard
absolutely.
anybody use that word
Yeah.
in like
No.
15
Yeah.
years?
You'd probably get arrested nowadays.
Yeah, more than likely.
So what does Doug decide to do instead for Carrie?
He makes her a drink that night, doesn't he?
Yeah, he starts
Oh, no.
making her
Yeah,
cocktails.
yeah.
when
So
she
every
comes home.
night, every night when she gets home from work, he's got the shaker, and he's making her an apple martini.
He's like Tom Cruise in Cocktail.
Yes.
He's like ready to go.
Well, and they could have tied this in to when he went back to school to be a bartender.
Very good.
Flipping the bottles.
True that.
Yep. I can't tell you if that was before or after this episode.
I think it's after.
Yeah, it's after. Yep.
Okay.
Ooh,
There you go.
that's a good point. That actually might be before.
That's one of the downfalls
We'll have to find
of
out.
us going out of order.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that you're doing that, though.
Yeah.
Oh, we
That's
love
good.
it.
Yeah.
We love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's definitely different because we bounce around. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it keeps the listeners intrigued.
Yeah, for sure.
hopefully.
Yeah, true.
So Arthur starts taking out the trash. What does he want to keep his pills in?
An egg carton.
An egg carton. Very good.
A perfectly good egg carton, he says, for all my pills, but instead I'll let them just sit around all willy-nilly on the dryer. Willy-nilly. My medication's
Typical
just
Arthur
all
thing.
Just all strewn about.
on the dryer, and so it's just so perfect. He didn't just say willy-nilly, on my dresser or what. Like, on the dryer is so specific, because then you're like, yeah, because he lives in the basement. And then I don't know, it's just funny to picture an old man's medications just getting all
like rattling
rattling around because the dryer's vibrating them all over the place.
And I picture them like out of the bottle too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm talking literally loose pills of all sorts of colors, the red pills, the blue pills, and whatever.
All right, so Arthur gets in on the action here, and because he figures out that Carrie is from Lou Ferrigno, the neighbor, figures out that Carrie is nicer and sweeter, and has a greater personality when she's been drinking a little bit. Mm-hmm. So, at one point, they're all sitting around having cocktails, and Arthur's telling stories, and then Carrie pops up and wants to do something. Where do they end up going?
Oh, okay. You didn't ask about what I thought you were going to. She wants to go ice skating.
Okay. Where'd you think I was going?
He's talking about F. Scott Fitzgerald and The Great Gatsby and whatever, and and drinking is no longer sophisticated, and it's turned into this ugly thing. And then they're laughing, and she leans over to Doug and says, I have no idea what he just said, but he's got a piece of cheese stuck in his mustache, and it's cracking me up.
Yeah. And the way she says that, like like half in the bag, is so funny. I love that. I love that part.
Yeah. She starts making come on. Let's go do something. Let's go. Ooh, let's go ice skating.
Yeah.
Okay. This is gonna. We all see where this is going.
Yeah, this is not gonna end well. And Doug ends up like running into almost like clotheslining like two people.
Oh yeah, he totally clotheslined some people.
Yeah. So later on that night, they get home and Carrie's passed out, and Lou ends up seeing her. So I kind of led you into this one. So who ends up telling Carrie about the drink situation?
Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah,
because
himself.
he saw Doug sling her over his shoulder because she was blacked out in the car, carried her inside, and he had also already seen Arthur taking out the liquor bottles.
Yeah.
To the recycling, and so Lou is obviously like putting two and two together here, and
in the poker game too.
Carrie.
Yeah, he starts.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. He goes. He says something about if you can't love the person for who they are, and you have to have alcohol bring out a different personality, then what's the point, or something like that. Yeah, you could
Doug
tell he
says,
was not
"Oh,
comfortable.
you're
with that.
adorable."
All right, a couple more questions, and
Okay.
you're soaring through, Natalie. You're actually answering questions that aren't even being asked.
I know, you're kicking
I'm
ass.
telling you, I studied for the test, y'all. Studied.
All right. What does Doug say? What does Doug call drunk instead of using the word drunk?
Sober plus.
So I like to call it sober plus. That's pretty funny. And Dusty, you ended up using that in our one of the Facebook posts this week. So
Yes.
I had to throw it in.
Yes.
There. And the final question: what was Doug drinking the whole time instead of apple martinis?
Gatorade.
Gatorade. What the funny part was is she takes a sip of it even after he says it's Gatorade. She's like, damn it. like she didn't believe him or something. So.
Oh goodness.
Yep, and that pretty much ends the show. At the end, Arthur is watching. I guess it's The Great Gatsby, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
I think so.
he ends up. I'm assuming they put him in there. I don't think he was in The Great Gatsby.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but he gets slapped by him, and he starts smiling like in his dreams.
Oh goodness.
So you did excellent.
Yeah.
You aced the test. You aced it with extra credit. Good job. How do you feel now that the trivia part's over? Do you feel like a weight has been lifted off your shoulder?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, man, I studied hard because I was like ready for questions that were not even coming to me. So yeah. It's such a good episode.
Yes,
that
it
is one of my. When Carrie says, suddenly I'm feeling less bitchy and easier to be with.
Yep.
Oh, so good.
So many great quotes in this show, in this episode.
Yeah.
It is
for
great
sure.
episode.
Great way to segue into our quotes and pondering,
Yes.
Dusty. I got one. It's Arthur to Doug. When I gave her to you, she was sweet as pie. That was after she goes, Mommy's gonna go to work now.
Yep.
Don't
go in the trash, and you don't go in the cold box or whatever she called it.
You stay out of the garbage and you stay out of the big cold box.
Yeah, the big cold
Does
box.
everybody understand what Mommy is saying?
There you go. Natalie's got it.
How about the one quote where Arthur goes to Doug when they get back from figure skating? He was like, "That's it, I'm done." And he's like, "Listen, this is not a moral issue. This is a dosage issue." That was hilarious.
Yep.
That's one of the best
that's
ones
great.
of the whole episode because he's so serious.
Yeah.
Douglas, this is not a moral issue. It's a dosage
Yeah.
issue. We know that now.
Exactly. And that was one of my ones also, Dusty. So you stole two of them.
Sorry.
You stole two of them. Nah, it's all right.
Bad. Still plenty to
What
choose
other
from.
ones you got, Natalie?
Oh goodness. When she catches him in the fridge, I think it's in the beginning of the episode,
Yep.
like right after that ham stamp breakfast, and he's in the fridge, but she's been distracted with Arthur and his margarine container, and he's clearly shoveling Lord knows what down his gullet, and she's, Doug, what are you doing? And he doesn't answer. What are you doing? And it's some muffled whatever, because he's like, his just cheeks are stuffed with whatever he's trying to get his hands on, because that ham stamp was just not cutting it.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an awesome part. And then when he gets caught eating the pizza when she walks in.
Oh God, the look on
Blacked
his
out.
The look on his face, and he's like, yeah, exactly. I blacked out. Oh God,
I
please
came
be a
to and I
prowler.
was eating her.
Yeah.
Be a prowler.
Oh God, please be a
Be
prowler.
a prowler, yeah.
That was another good one.
Yeah.
When she's drunk or tipsy or sober plus, and Arthur's taking out the trash, and she says, "Oh, keep your egg carton. You're a pack rat, and I love ya."
Yeah.
She's
You
like,
got it
all of a
down.
sudden-
You got it down pat. Yeah. It's exactly how she sounded when she said that.
He didn't say file this under C for curb on this one, did he?
Ow,
Was it?
yes, he did.
It
No,
was.
he did.
It was that one. Okay. Yes.
Yep, file this under C for curveball.
Yes. Oh
Yep.
my God, that's funny.
You all right, Natalie?
Yeah, I definitely just cut my finger. I have a stained glass studio. That's like my, I have a small business, and I definitely just ran my finger along the edge of my table, not realizing that I forgot to sweep it off earlier. And,
man.
well, this isn't going to be on film, so.
Oh,
Ooh,
Jesus.
Ow.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm so used to Band-Aids on all my fingers.
Yeah.
The stained glass, it's just like literally part of the territory. In fact, I have one sitting here
There you
because I needed to rewrap one that I cut yesterday. So I'm good to go, boys.
go.
It's
We're also
fine.
sponsored by Johnson & Johnson's
Johnson
Band-Aid.
& Johnson. The real Band-Aid, not bandage, Band-Aid.
Yeah, Band-Aid.
And what was I going to say? It's fine because my peach tea over there has got me feeling sober plus. So
There you go. You're good to go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
we're good.
For those of you who can't see, which is everyone else,
Natalie's bleeding
the
profusely.
pinky, Natalie's pinky was very bloody, and it looked like it hurt a lot. But
Oh,
she's
friends.
stitching herself up, and she's ready to go. She's tough.
I've got a good story about being. I won't tell it on here. Maybe when we're done recording. But
okay.
it's as Ted Lasso would say, it's a doozy.
It's a doozy, yeah.
it's a classic Zoom call faux pas where I didn't realize my microphone was on. I'll just leave it there. Anyway, let's keep going with the.
All right. Yeah. Absolutely. She's ready to go. I was gonna say I'm kind of taking issue with. The way Carrie and Arthur are using their napkins instead of plates for pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a little, I don't want to say disturbing, but it was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You don't
Very
have like
weird
a paper
choice. Plate? I'm wondering if some of that choice was because she was drunk, but he did the same thing, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It does, because you can't eat pizza with a napkin.
Yeah, not on
Either just hold the whole thing in your hand and be done and be greasy about the whole thing, or like get a plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
That's pretty much all I have for quotes and pondering. Anybody got anything else?
Well, the gang still hasn't seen the sweet side of Carrie yet.
Yeah.
So,
I
mean, I still don't see it.
I still don't see it.
I still don't see it. That was Spence saying that a couple times.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Oh
great.
yeah, because they came by one night. It was the night that she found out
Yeah.
that they'd been, dosing her or whatever. And they show up with like a 6-pack and they're gonna watch. She opens the door and it's like all the guys, and hey, we're here to watch the game. Yeah, no, and she just shuts the door in their face. And then Spence says, "Yeah, I'm just still not seeing it.
I'm still not seeing it.
Genuinely confused."
So this is part of the show where we like to ask our guest, what does King of Queens mean to you, and why do you watch it?
Okay, so I have watched this show. I've watched King of Queens and Seinfeld. I have both entire series on DVD, which is so weird to me that DVDs are becoming like an obsolete thing. That was literally news to me a year or two ago when I said, "Yeah, if you'll bring me this, I'll burn it onto a DVD," and they like scoffed at me. I'm like, "What? How long have I been asleep? I didn't understand DVDs were going away." But okay. Anyway, so still have my DVDs. My husband and I have been watching those two shows just disc, season, on rotation for well over 10 years every night when we are falling asleep.
Nice.
And they still both just crack us up. And I mean full on belly laugh.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how many times we've seen, there are certain moments, certain quotes, facial expressions, whatever, that just, I guess, are timeless, and they will never not be funny to us.
Yep.
So, it's kind of become a joke where we don't understand what is going to have to happen for us to not do that tradition anymore, and to not be falling asleep to Doug and Carrie or Jerry and Kramer, because it's for over 10 years now. That's their tradition. Yeah. So I imagine as long as our DVD player still works and you can still buy one, we're gonna keep watching.
True that.
So how many do you get through a night? Like how many episodes? Typically.
My husband falls asleep a whole lot faster than I do. Okay. Imagine that. But I'd say we probably get through 2 or 3 episodes.
Okay.
Because he's in bed before I am, so while I'm still brushing my teeth and stuff, like, it's already playing. But it's funny because after all this time, I've still never bothered to like clock it. Like, how long does it take us on average, to get through a season or to get through a series? But
right.
I mean, I'm not kidding. We're back in season 1 now, and
of King of Queens, or
yes.
Okay.
And so that means we just finished Seinfeld.
Right.
And when I came in the bedroom and Doug and Carrie were on the TV, I was like, "Are we already finished with Seinfeld again?" Like, and he was like, "Yeah, but he likes to skip the series finale of both of them."
Oh.
Okay. Which
interesting.
Kind of gives me a little bit of an eye twitch in my OCD sort of tendencies. I'm not saying I have OCD, but like that sort of like the perfectionist in me is like, but if we're going to watch it, we have to watch all of it. But he really, truly can't stand the finales of either show.
Yeah.
But
Really?
again,
Is
I
it
don't
just
think-
finales in general, like,
Um,
or just? I mean, obviously, of those two shows, he doesn't like.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just because we're so in love. I mean, we talk about Doug and Carrie as if they're real people in real life who we know.
Yep.
Which is a little, now that I'm saying it out loud, is a little crazy.
Nah.
But I must not be alone because there's 30-something thousand people in that fan group
Oh
on
my God.
Facebook.
Isn't that
So
crazy? It's
and
like
every
32,000.
day somebody will just post literally a one-liner. Like that's their post. It's not a question. It's not a hey, do you guys remember? It's literally just a quote. And that right there will crack me up. I don't even have to be watching the show.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it so many times, I can just picture it in my head. I know exactly, oh, yep, that was from this scene, and it's still funny.
Yep.
This many years later, still cracking me up.
That's great. So 10 years worth of it. That's all. I mean, that's something to be said. I wonder if you'll ever put like another show into your rotation.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I can't fathom.
I mean, because you watch other shows. You guys.
Oh, yeah,
are
we
talking
watch
about
other
Ted
shows,
Lasso,
but just
Ted
not
Lasso.
like as we're falling asleep,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, right,
And
right.
so, like when we travel, it is a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, because if we're at a hotel or an Airbnb, if it's got cable, there's actually pretty good odds, though, that we can find
That's right.
Seinfeld or King
That's
of Queens
right.
in
Yeah.
syndication at some point.
Yeah.
We're like, thank God. It's not. We're on season 3 at home, and this is season 7, but this will do.
Yeah.
It'll do. It'll get me through. It'll get me
Yeah.
through tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, obviously it means a lot to you, and that's great.
Yeah.
And, we thank you for talking about that. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I've been trying to think of the exact moment when I first watched that show, like how it was introduced to me. And I think it was that the DVDs originally belonged to my parents.
Oh.
And they were telling me about the show. Because I never watched it when it was on the air.
Oh, you never watched any of the shows when
No, I didn't. No, because I think I was like in high school. Yeah, I was in high school.
High school,
So I was
college.
probably either, watching stuff that I thought was cooler because
Yep.
I was a teenager,
Same
or
here.
just wasn't watching TV because I was, with friends or working or whatever. But I think they had the DVDs and loaned them to me because they were just like, we just think you're going to think it's funny. And Carrie reminds us of you, and I just think that you're going to love it. And they were right. And so then somehow I think I just adopted their DVDs.
So those are
Thanks,
the
Mom
original
and Dad.
ones.
Yeah.
Those are the original ones that you started watching.
Yep.
10 years ago.
Yep.
Wow,
I know, that's what I'm
awesome.
saying. Like, God help us if
Yeah.
the DVDs ever crap out, or I don't know. We're just gonna sit there weeping and soiling ourselves
Well-
because we're not gonna know what to do without our.
You can,
Yeah. Kind of quoted the show.
you come to me or Dusty because we have a couple people in mind that have several copies.
Several
of the
copies.
series.
Okay,
So,
Somebody can get me the black market hookup.
We got
on a
your
replacement for-
back. We got your back.
Okay.
You saying weeping and soiling cracked me up because you just quoted one of the parts of the
Dude.
show when Doug
Dude.
couldn't find the scissors.
That is my favorite cold open.
Yeah.
Too many precious moments wasted being a tour guide in my own home. Well, I mean, what would you do if I died? Would you just sit here weeping and soiling yourself? Or would you remember where something is? Yeah. Like, she's so sarcastic, and he's just standing there just blinking at her, just letting it all happen.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Taking
it. That is a great classic one.
it's
Yep.
like one of my all-time favorites.
So. All right, so we're going to move on to the review and ratings portion of the show. IMDb had 351 user ratings at an 8.4 out of 10 stars, so it did fairly well. Ratings from our Facebook poll, we had 31 people rate the show, and it received a 4.5 out of 5 stars, so that's pretty much a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Our guests always go first, so Natalie, how would you rate this episode?
So I spent so much time prepping for the trivia that I did not think about what I would rate this until right now. So this is authentic, people, because I really hadn't thought about this detail until just now. It's a good one. I'm gonna say it's got Arthur in it. And he's not in it well, no, he is in it a lot because
Yeah.
he's part of the whole scheme with the happy hour. I mean, for me, it's for sure in my top 5.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
So I'm gonna say like 9.4.
There you go.
9.4.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Top
It's
5
a good
too.
one.
I think this is the
Yeah.
first time we've ever had an episode in somebody's top 5, right, Dusty? If I'm
Yeah.
correct.
Yep.
Yeah. We've definitely had some. Last week's was Jenna,
It's
man.
like,
She really.
I hate the sassy.
I hate this.
I mean, I freaking hate them.
Yeah,
They're
and,
just
and her rating, it showed.
not doing it for me.
Yeah, that was great.
Dang. She's got
All right.
ice in her veins. She means it.
Oh yeah. You don't cross her, man. Another teacher, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Nice.
All right, so a 9.4 for Natalie. Dusty, what about you, pal?
Let's see. Well, let me go back to the ratings the poll that we posted on Facebook. I saw a couple people gave it a 1 star, and I probably could understand why they
Okay.
gave it a 1 star,
Okay.
because pushing alcohol onto someone
get it.
possibly or whatnot. I
Yeah.
totally understand that. But it's a comedy, so for me, like. Natalie said, this is another one that's in my top 5 because this is the second one that we've done that's in my top 5. Because I think it was
okay.
Gym Neighbors was in my top 5.
we haven't,
No, it wasn't.
we haven't done that.
We haven't done Gym Neighbors?
haven't done that
Oh,
one.
no. That was,
No.
okay, no. I can't remember which.
Don't spoil that
Sorry.
one.
No, it
Put a
was,
lid on it. Put a lid on it.
God, what episode was it that was in my top 5? I think it was the 3rd episode we did that was in my top 5. I'll have to look at it. But yeah, this is another one that's in my top 5 because this episode was hilarious throughout the whole episode. I mean, the whole episode was funny. There was never a dull moment. And I say that about a lot of episodes, but this one, every scene, every word that came out of her mouth was hilarious. And, of course,
just Arthur eating that pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do a
That alone
TikTok
is
with
just
my son doing
it's
that.
such gold.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, this is definitely gonna be a 9.5 for me
9.5
for sure. It's not my number 1 episode, but I'm not gonna say which one my number 1 episode is. I
Ooh,
think
I'm
you
so
know,
curious.
Steven.
Don't give that one away.
No, I'm not gonna say that.
We'll have to talk offline
Yeah.
about that one because I'm not sure.
It's my all-time favorite one. But yeah, 9.5.
Just for reference, episode 3 for us was Patrons Ain't.
Okay.
Was that in your top 5?
No,
The library.
which one was it?
You also didn't you do the work wife and work husband
No,
Yeah, that one
we haven't done
was-
that one.
business
Oh yeah, we
What?
did do that. Yeah, we
we
did.
did.
Yep, that was
Yeah,
with
we
my
did that.
brother.
business
two episodes
affair or something?
Yeah, that was with your brother.
Yeah, with my brother.
We'll figure it out. Okay, so top 5, 9.5. That's really good. So now I'm going to look like
pressure's on.
the jerk because I'm not going as high as both of you. It was still a great episode for me. It's I'm doing an 8.9. I really don't know where it lost a lot of points for me, but it was hilarious. Arthur brought it up very high for me, and again, I know I'm piggybacking, but when he's eating that pizza and the garlic bread, that
Yeah.
really,
So good.
and then when he's trying to convince Doug to keep pushing the alcohol on her
Yeah.
when
When
she's
it's
passed
his
out on
own
the couch.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's his own daughter. So yeah, I'm doing an 8.9, but it's definitely a great episode.
Yep.
So as we've reflected on this episode, it does make me realize, like, it was pretty much just those 3 carrying the show. I mean, like, the bros, Spence and Deacon, and Danny, they were there, but
Yeah.
only for
Nah,
what?
Yeah.
I mean, their screen time was very little on this episode,
2 or 3
comparatively
minutes, if
speaking,
that, yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so I don't know if maybe subconsciously that is where it lost
Maybe
1.1 points for you or something because
I love how Natalie's analyzing it, trying to figure out
know,
what
right?
I didn't get.
figure out.
That's great.
I mean, I'll allow it 8.9. That's no slap in the face or anything.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that,
It's
Natalie.
no slap in the face. I'll take it, but
So, all right. Well, that brings us to the point where we like to plug stuff. Dusty, you want to plug our Facebook and Instagram and all that social media?
Yep, Facebook. Go follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/ShuddyUppy. Let's talk King of Queens. And our Instagram is @ShuddyUppy Podcast.
All right. And then our old school email is as usual. If you want to email us, it is kingofqueenspodcast@gmail.com. And Natalie, if you want to plug anything, you want to plug your stained glass?
yes,
There
I
you
do
go.
with my bloody fingers. As there's a saying in the stained glass community, which is, "There's a little bit of us in everything we make," and we really mean that because we probably bled on it, and that means our actual DNA is. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, we clean everything, but that happens pretty often. So my shop, I have an Etsy shop, and you can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. And in fact, today I started designing a website. So, but my shop name is Glass Soul Creations. And
Glass Soul. I like that.
Now I'm gonna be. Y'all get it. You understand at this point that I'm a lover of comedy.
Yep.
And when I was trying to think of a name for my shop, my best friend's husband was definitely like the first one to say, "Ooh, you should call it like From the Glass Hole," right? And I was like, okay, I am a teacher, and that's a little too on the nose.
Yeah.
And so then he was like, but what about, how can we, he was really convinced because he knew I would go for it. He was like, okay, we got to figure out this. So Glass Soul is still in my mind just a play on it's a pun. But
sure.
you have to be told that almost to even hear it that way. But yeah, so Glass Soul Creations on Etsy, Facebook, and Instagram.
You got some cool stuff on here. I'm actually checking it out right now. You got some really cool stuff on here.
I need to get my shop filled back up because I just finished a commission for.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome.
I keep saying that she's a girl, but that's because I've known her since like legitimately kindergarten. Like we went to school together, kindergarten through college, so she's practically family. She had me make a panel for her mom for Mother's Day, and it was the biggest piece I've ever made, and I thought it might be the death of me. It was 16 by 24.
Holy crap.
And over 230 pieces of glass.
That's a lot of glass.
It was a lot of glass and a lot of
glass
hours.
and a lot of Band-Aids, I'm sure.
A lot of Band-Aids, my friends. Johnson & Johnson. Hook me up.
Johnson & Johnson, Corona, whatever else you want to.
Come on, sponsor us.
Yeah, man. Let's make it
All right,
happen.
we'll go check out Natalie's shops. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's
Thanks,
really
guys.
neat.
And we do thank you very much for your time, and thanks for coming
Absolutely.
on the
This
show.
is so much fun.
Good.
Yes.
I'm glad you had fun.
Yes.
We had a blast. I mean, I know I had a blast. I'm sure Dusty had fun.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, man. So until next time, thanks a lot. Have a good one.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
guys.